Another major NASCAR silly season domino bomb has dropped as Corey LaJoie will not return to Spire Motorsports in 2025. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to the video. As I just said a second ago, another massive NASCAR silly season bomb has dropped as it was officially confirmed that Corey LaJoie will not return to Spire Motorsports in 2025. This first was initially reported by Jordan Bianchi, where basically LaJoie confirmed his impending departure from the organization in a statement to The Athletic. "I won't be driving the 7 car next year," LaJoie told The Athletic. "I take a lot of satisfaction from having an integral part of building Spire into a respectful team on the grid, but unfortunately the future won't involve me. We will finish the remainder of 2024 strong, continue to deliver for my partners, my guys who work hard to build good cars, my family, fans, and friends who have supported me since day one in the Cup Series. This chapter ends after Phoenix, and I'm excited to see what the Lord has in store for my family next." This is definitely very, very shocking, right? Because we all had thought that Corey LaJoie had signed a multi-year contract extension with Spire Motorsports that was supposed to go through 2025. Now you've got Corey LaJoie, another driver who's on the free agent market going into 2025. But one reason why I thought there was a chance of possibly maybe this happening too was basically, you look at what they announced a few months ago, right? They announced that about a couple weeks ago, I should say, that Ronnie Childers was going to be the crew chief for the number 7 car. They never said that he was going to be the crew chief for Corey LaJoie, which shocked me and surprised me. And the rumors and rumblings and speculation coming out from the Couch Racers account that there was a really good chance that Corey LaJoie was not going to be back in the 7 car. They basically said it was someone very unlucky. And when I think of lucky, I think of the number 7. Now, Corey LaJoie really was a big reason at the time why Spire Motorsports really grew, and they were beginning to grow at the time. But let's be real and honest and frank. Corey LaJoie really was not doing a great job at Spire Motorsports in recent years. And so far this year, he has been a massive disappointment. Corey LaJoie, I think, is sitting 31st in the standings right now. He has still not scored, I think, more than one top 10 so far this year. And he still has failed to score a single top 10 finish outside of a super speedway. And Spire Motorsports can't have that going on going forward, especially when you're going to be getting an integral part like Rodney Childers coming in, who's going to be really helping your program. They're going to want a driver who's really going to build that program up. Because had they kept Corey LaJoie going into next year, I really don't think Corey LaJoie would have been able to really help the program grow. I think Corey LaJoie was unfortunately going to hold the program back. And let's also be real and frank too. Carson Ospar had been outperforming him all year so far. Carson Ospar got a 25-point penalty for being a little bit over-aggressive at Nashville, taking out Harrison Burton under caution, and he still was like 25th in the standings. And next year, they've got Michael McDowell coming in, who is going to have Travis Peterson as a crew chief next year. He is going to be a very integral part of really helping grow that program, especially with that multi-year deal, which Michael McDowell asked for. I think he's going to be able to really help build it up. And let's be real and honest, Corey LaJoie's also been under a lot of scrutiny in the last few months. And you go back to how he's taken out multiple drivers like Jimmy Johnson and also got into a pretty big beef and feud with Kyle Busch. And Kyle Busch and him don't really like each other. And Kyle Busch has sorted out revenge against Corey LaJoie going into the future. Now, what does this mean for Corey LaJoie going into next year? Well, there really aren't a lot of options out there available in the Cup Series right now. You do have Colleague Racing, which could be an option for him, maybe going there part-time or full-time. But I don't know what sponsorship Corey LaJoie brings. I know he brings a little bit of sponsorship with him, but I don't think he brings the best sponsorship out there. He could go to Rickwer Racing. That could certainly be an option. But what team is going to look at Corey LaJoie's performance where he hasn't scored a top 10 outside of a super speedway? What team is going to look at that and try to pick him up? I could see him back in the NASCAR Xfinity Series next year. That certainly could be an option. But I think Spire Motorsports really want to move on. And again, I've already talked about it. Spire has been building their program up over the last couple years. They're wanting to get better people on there. They've got Rodney Childers over there now. They still got Zane Smith as a very talented driver. And potentially Zane Smith could still stick around and drive the 7 car. That could certainly be an option. But I think there's some other options that are going to be on the table to talk about in a second. But look what they've done in recent years. They purchased the Kyle Busch Motorsports Truck Series team. They're working out of the KBM shop right now. Their Cup Series program is. They've expanded to a 3-car team. They spent a lot of money on spotters. They've grown their program, and like I mentioned, they're bringing Michael McDowell in. They got development work with Hendrick Motorsports, and they're continuing to build great things, and there's rumors and speculation that Andretti is going to have a major handle on that organization going forward. And the rumors that they're going to be coming in and buying their way in. Now, going back to Corey LaJoie, there's no disrespect to Corey, but I would consider him maybe the Cup version of Hailie Deegan. That's no disrespect, but I think there's kind of a little bit of truth to that. But now the other question that kind of comes around is who takes over the 7 car next year. Well, like I mentioned, Ronnie Childers is going to be the crew chief for that team, but who comes in and works as the driver? While they could potentially move Roger Kroof up to the Cup Series, I don't think Roger Kroof is ready to make the jump up yet. Chase Purdy, there's no way that he's going to be ready to make the jump up. So you got to look at free agents that could be available. What about Sam Mayer? We do know that Sam Mayer is in the running to go to Front Row Motorsports car for 2025, but I don't know if Sam Mayer is going to, because if you have an opportunity to go to Front Row compared to Spire, I think Front Row would be the better option because you're going to be getting Tier 1 support. But if Sam Mayer doesn't go to Spire, they probably pick him. If he doesn't go to Spire, I think he probably goes to Spire potentially. But you also have other drivers like Zane Smith who could stick around with Spire. There's also other drivers like Christian Neckes who are free agents currently at the moment. And what about kind of a sleeper pick for this ride? Kyle Busch. We know Kyle Busch has been super frustrated with Rich Schultz Racing over the course of the last few years. And I think Kyle Busch to Spire Motorsports would make a lot of sense right now. He'd be able to work with Rodney Childers as a crew chief. And I certainly think if Kyle Busch doesn't go there this year, I certainly think 2026 could be an option. But I really think that this would be the driver who's on the free agent market right now that I would truly be going after for 2025, because I think Kyle Busch has been struggling. He's not been happy. And we also have to remember, he basically sold his shop to Spire and has been working as a consultant with Spire Motorsports with their Truck Series program. So it would make a lot of sense to bring Kyle Busch in. And I think if you look at the organizations and compare them, Spire Motorsports right now is better than RCR. Both the RCR cars have been struggling a bit. We know Kyle Busch has not been happy over there. We know Kyle Busch wanted to get out of his contract for what people were saying, and it was wanting to maybe go back to Hendrick Motorsports or drive for Joe Gibbs Racing once again. But going to a new opportunity like Spire Motorsports, I think would make a lot of sense. Now, Kyle Busch might have to bring some sponsorship with him, but maybe not as much because he does have Gainbridge working with that team. And there's also the Group 1001 group, which sponsored him in his select Truck Series races. I think Kyle Busch would make a lot of sense. What about SVG2? Shaman Gisborne could be a surprise candidate. We know that basically if they decide to pick Zane Smith for the third Trackhouse car, we could see SVG get the seat. That wouldn't surprise or shock me. But more than likely, I do think that will go either to Kyle Busch or someone in a young camp like Sam Mayer will likely be the drivers that are picked up going into next year. This is another craziness in silly season, right? There's been so many crazy moves that have been happening. You've got 2311 expanding to a 3-car operation. We obviously know that Bubba Wallace more than likely is sticking around with 2311 next year. We know they're going to get a 3rd car for Riley Hurts. Maybe Carlos Kerber didn't want to come back. Maybe that could be a possibility. We know Hailie Deegan's likely going to Haas factory team in the NASCAR Xfinity Series now. We know that Front Row's got one other seat available at the moment, and there's just a lot of big silly season dominoes that really have to fall. But right now, Corey LaJoie will not be back with Spire Motorsports in 2025. So, that is going to be today's special breaking news report. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, and if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me through Facebook and Instagram and support on Patreon as well. Links description below that, and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. Where do you think Corey LaJoie is going to end up in 2025? Let me your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, more than likely, you're going to see 2025 NASCAR Cup Series schedule predictions on the channel unless the schedule gets released early. Then over the weekend, we'll have a video potentially on the top free agents remaining on the market. We're also going to have maybe a 2026 silly season predictions as well. And we're also going to have a lot of other great content dropping over the rest of the weekend. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode. And I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.